Hello, fine people of the interwebs. I'm a builder remodeler in North Carolina, and I want to talk about a job that my son and I tried to get out of. We just were stuck. Put it on stun. Slow here. Alright. So, every contractor is going to run into one of these jobs. These jobs that you just get caught in, such as this one right here. This is a house that had the original builder built it wrong, turned the garage, and then trapped water. So, when we were working for this client on a remodeling project, we noticed in their garage that they were missing quite a bit of drywall. The studs underneath that drywall were really decayed, and I said, what's going on there? I was just talking with the homeowner, and they're like, well, that's an existing insurance claim. And they said, well, we've really wanted you to look at it. We just have been waiting for the right time to bring it up to you. And so now that we're talking, they said, yeah, we want you to take a look at it. Well, I was like, sure, tell me what's going on. So they proceeded to tell me that that water was coming in between the house and the garage, and that they'd had a few different contractors that had already looked at it. All right, so red flag number one is you have contractors that are looking at it, roofers, and why aren't they repairing it? Why aren't they fixing it? Why? So, I'm kind of question mark, why is the homeowner not hiring them? Why? Well, it comes to be that the roofers, in fact, were not giving them a quote because they didn't want to get involved in the job. This area right here is the portion of the shingles that we removed. Why did we remove it? Well, it was trapping water right through here. I got to reset. The water was coming in through here and infiltrating that wall. Well, you can see right there, the water had no area to go. Because, you're looking at the diverter here that we put in there, the copper, that fixed it. But prior to that, this entire area was just catching the water and it was being forced. It had no place to go. So that should have been, I remember the first time we climbed up on the roof, I was thinking, and I got back down, my original thoughts were, it needs some type of diverter. It needs a diverter to go to, hold on here, finishing erasing, almost done. Let me switch to pen. I was thinking originally it needed something right here, some wood structure. Of course, it would be down here, but basically it would divert that water over there. Now, you end up causing another problem though, because as the water drips over the edge here, and it will, if you bring this out too close to the edge of this fascia out here, you can end up trapping it, and it will get behind there. So I scratch it. 2 other contractors suggested the same thing, but they didn't bid on the job. They said that they were going to get back with them on a price, and they never came back. And these are actually these are companies right around me that they got a pretty good reputation, but I got to give them props because they didn't bid on it. They were smarter than I was. They were smarter than Mr. Campbell. So either way, the homeowner wore me down and said, can you please get up there, see what you can do, see what you can do. I said, we don't care about the shingles. I hate to say it, but when homeowners tell you that, they're lying. They're lying. This is an expensive neighborhood, and their roof, they're going to want it to match. So this roof, it's not that old a house, 15 years, somewhere around there. The original builder built it incorrectly. They did not allow any area for water to escape here. It was just getting trapped right there. The second guy that came in and roofed it a couple of years prior had no clue. He just kept filling it up with more and more caulk in there. we were laughing because the more we stripped away, the more caulk we found. There must have been 10 tubes of caulk. Now they kept calling them back and saying, hey, the water leak keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And I was like, this guy should not be on anything but just an A-frame ranch home. I'm actually going to give you numbers. We were doing okay off the remodeling side. I'm not saying we did great, but I'm just saying we bid it right and we got paid. We delivered on what we was in the contract. This up here, I was maybe a little too nice. I bid it, I think, at $12.50. It's already been a couple years ago, but the copper alone, and everything, materials. The sheet of 4x10 copper is $400. It's been that way for a little while, $380, somewhere around there. And I know how much materials are in there. So I'm just looking at this right here. I know we had $600. So it took 2.5 days to do it because of the weather conditions. Plus we had to get materials, just everything. So we didn't make hardly anything on this job. But here's the biggest kicker with this. When you get involved in a job like this where the house was previously done or constructed wrong, you assume responsibility. You assume responsibility essentially for it being constructed improperly. Once you go up there and start doing modifications, you're the one that's entrapped. And that's what irritated me the most on this, because we were doing it as a favor. Just kind of, thank you for the previous job. We're going to treat you okay on this. But this is a no-win job, because once you're trying to go in there and repair something that was built improperly, constructed improperly, I mean, so like I said, we had watershed coming from this direction, watershed coming from this direction. By the way, this is an 812, and this was like a 412. I do remember that, this being quite a bit steeper. I mean, not near as steep a slope. But this copper, and let me see, it came up, the piece of copper that we put in. Yeah, that looks right. And then another piece of copper went in here, the remaining, because I want to say we went like 6 feet up there, like 6 feet this direction, and then the remaining piece of copper came in here like this. And then of course we had copper from other jobs that we were able to come in through here. And yeah, so we always have copper remain. Plus we put snow and ice. Now a lot of people down in the south don't know what snow and ice is. In northern states you have to use it. It's code in quite a few of the states. It keeps water and ice from wicking its way up at your roof edge, and especially ice when it builds like a dam down there in your gutter or whatever, it'll start working its way up. Well, snow and ice is roughly 36 inches, and you put that down as your first layer. Then you put your starter and start working up from there. Either way, took a piece of we took snow and ice over there, so we actually put snow and ice up through there. Either way, we fixed it. All right, so I was missing a little bit of information. First off, before the snow and ice was put on, we literally got a driving rain, a sideways, about 2 months after we did this. And there was just literally a couple drops that came through. The homeowner asked us not to do the drywall up underneath that area, just to make sure that no rain got in, period. And I was like, okay, that sounds good. Sounds good. Leave it open. So 2 months later, we go through hurricane season. We get 2 or 3 drops of rain, of water that come through there. And they're panicking. It was a stream before. Now, mind you, it was higher up. It wasn't at my diverter where it leaked. It was higher up. But just like what I said, if you do the job, you're entrapped, even if it's leaking in another area. So I was like, I'm kind of him-hawing around. I'm like, well, shoot, we're kind of already losing our tail on this job. I'm like, you're not really expecting us to take care of that. And they're like, you know, they were insinuating basically, you started it, you need to finish it. And I was just kind of surprised. I was surprised that these people were doing this. So I put it off for a few more months. We let it go through winter. And I was like, then it started getting contentious because the wife wanted it done. It was more than a couple months. It was like 4 or 5 months later. She's like, it's not leaking. The husband's like, yeah, but we did see that 2 drops of rain that came higher up during that hurricane. So we better have something done more. We had to go back over there and tear the shingles up again and put the snow and ice under there. And I'm going to pick up right there. So you'll understand why it took 2.5 days and why I was so ticked off about this job, because of the dumb builder, how he did it in the first place, and stupid Campbell, I'm talking about myself, why I went over there and got involved in this job. I'm getting irritated just thinking about it. Ugh. But this is one of those jobs that really annoyed me. And I just ran across this photo, and you as a contractor, you will get stuck in jobs that are a no-win. When we got done, the homeowner was basically like, we're like, yeah, we just saved your place. We just, no other contractor. At first I was thinking, why aren't other contractors getting up there and taking care of it? And when I finally got up, because you couldn't really see what was going on from the road. When I finally got up on the roof and looked at it, I was like, oh, I see what they've done. And that's when we cut the shingles back. Hold on here. You can see that we cut the shingles back right here, and that way it allowed us to run this diverter up in there, and we shoved it up underneath there, and it comes way up here. Yeah, of course with my other pieces of copper. So we got a big old piece of copper that's hooked together, that's catching that water. Yeah, so this right here, that's one of these thankless jobs. The person thought we were overcharging them too. I mean, you can kind of get that feedback from the person. And I know everyone, whether it's HVAC, electrical, plumbing, you're going to get those jobs that you weren't smart enough, you didn't have enough insight to walk away from. And then when you do fix it, and then the homeowner's just like, yeah. This job's a success. Yeah, the homeowner has requested multiple times for us to come back and do more work. All I can think about is that roof up there, and how much time and how little we got paid. Left a bad taste in my mouth, and I wish I would have walked away. Got our original job done and then walked away. So, all right, learn from it, and move on. Don't hold grudges, be happy. But I wish I kind of went and I ran across this photo. Probably should delete it. All right, see you.